Right, you alright guys and girls, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. So I did a bit of shopping today and at the supermarket. And right, you're allowed, apparently we're on lockdown now. So we're sort of in prison now. Yeah, we're in prison now. This is what it was, just not prisoner cell block H. Don't worry, we're probably on cell block D or something at the moment, by the whole sort of pandemic that's been going on. Now, for the last couple of weeks, we've had like people moaning about the old age pensioners because they couldn't go, and the disabled people, that they couldn't get to the supermarket, right, to get their groceries or food and all of that. Now, the really strange thing is that actually these supermarkets now are actually going away from that sort of way from the elderly and disabled people now. And they're going for, like, they're changing different days up, but it still seems to be like, okay, right, we're going to do it on this certain day for the disabled and elderly people, and then this day we're going to do it for the National Health Service. Now, if it's not to me to know about this, right, what happens, right, with elderly people who are waiting out at 7 o'clock in the morning and they've got to wait all the way to 8 o'clock, right, not knowing because they haven't been given the information of when they're actually open, these supermarkets. And then basically you're actually told to queue up, or not actually told to queue up, but to line up all against the wall like you're some sort of criminals and all that. Right, excuse me, sir, we want you to line up there. Right, and these other people, we want them to come in first because they're not actually, because the disabled and elderly people are not really sort of that much. Don't worry about the elderly disabled people or the elderly people and the disabled people. Don't worry, they haven't got much time left, so let's get rid of them out of the way first.
No, but what they forget is the elderly are the ones who kept this world going.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? The elderly people, right? We have been looking after the elderly like the elderly actually used to look after us. Now it seems to me, and also the disabled people like us. But the thing is, when we get to this certain point now, it's like globalism has taken over. Like, okay, so for the last couple weeks, or for the last 2 weeks, we've had people coming in and out, nicking all the food off the tables, and not allowing the elderly people to sort of get any food, right? So we go, oh no, so let's take all the food off the table, off the elderly people, let's starve them to death. Let's then tell them to queue up at about 9 o'clock in the morning, or 10 o'clock, make it a little bit later, so there's no food left for them. We'll allow the the National Health Service to come through, even though I was in the by the supermarket earlier, and this one security guard was saying to this one bloke, right, have you got a pass on? He goes, no, I work for the National Health Service and all this kind of stuff, but he didn't have a badge on him. But the bloke said, go on then. But thing is, how do we know if these people actually work for the National Health Service? They could be just saying, oh, I've left my pass at home, I'll work for the National Health Service. I mean, the thing is, what they think, if they left their passes at home, then it should be too bad for you, mate. You need to get to the back of the queue and wait with the rest of the others. Instead of if I'm in a queue and someone jumps me in the queue, I'd be alright, excuse me, sir, but you've just actually jumped me in the queue. I was first, now get to the back of the line.
No, I'm bloody well ends.
Oh, but you see what I mean, guys and girls? It's getting to the point now, you start jumping in, and now basically you've got to be two meters away from each other now. So may as well just stick yourself in a box and then start walking into the supermarket with a box over your head or something. It's alright, I'm contaminated, I'll put a box over my head and all that. I mean, it's no laughing matter, but then is the situation what we're in at the moment, it's kind of like we're in sort of a concentration camp. All we need now is like some bread, some water, with like loads of chemicals in there just to finish us all off and all that, and just put us in prison, why don't you, and all that at this rate. But it's like, it's bloody ridiculous. You got people trying to jump each other in the queue, and then like not lining up in the queue. Then you've got the disabled people getting basically jumped in the queue as well from other people who don't care about disabled people or even the elderly. And then I heard this old bloke behind me yesterday in one of the queues, right? Having a go at this woman and said, "Excuse me, love, but excuse me, can you keep away from me? You have to be 2 meters away." She was like 1 meter away. I mean, come on, what's 1 meter away? At least it's a bit of a distance from him. 1 meter is about, what's that? So actually 2 meters is about 6 something foot. So cut that in half. That 1 meter is.
Excuse me, do you want to get a ruler?
Yeah, no, it's about 3 foot. It's about 3 foot or something. Anyway, a meter is about 3 foot. So 3 foot, still a bit of a distance, guys and girls. Calm down, calm down. I mean, I may as well just get a ruler out. So right, here we go. Right, 6 foot for you. So count your other feet, and then if move along 6 times, and that's your 6 foot. You're 2 meters away then. Don't worry. But come on, even if at 2 meters, guys and girls, you'll still get the flu. You'll still get the cold. You'll still get the coughs. Do you know what the worst thing is of doing to get rid of this flu? All this like anxiety, like stress and anxiety and all that. Right, the worst thing you could do is to keep people imprisoned in their own homes when they've got a cold or a flu or one thing. You know why? Because by the time the 3 weeks is up, right, your flu, your cold, will still be with you, right? Obviously, if you're taking like paracetamols or whatever, and they work, obviously you'll probably get them done, but you're not guaranteed it if you've got a low immune system. So what happens when the 3 weeks is up? Oh, actually, it's probably going to go on a lot longer. It's, 3 weeks is actually nothing. I think this is a tester. I think the government is going to test people. Let's try them on 3 weeks and see if we can actually keep control of them. Let's control the population, and then while we control the population, we can do some other CD stuff elsewhere, and they don't know what's going on.
Hey, hello. I discovered something today.
Yeah.
Would you like to know what that is?
What?
Well, you know when you go down to the doctor's,
Yeah.
and you go to see a doctor because
Yeah.
you're in pain.
Yeah.
I found out that they're not always doctors.
Yeah, they're not always doctors,
Yeah.
like general practitioners or something.
I found that out
GPs.
today. Yeah, no.
So it is kind of weird though, guys and girls. Like, if you're in the house, you're more likely to actually keep your germs in the house. So by the time the 3 weeks is up, you've already still got the germs in the house.
Yeah.
And now you're going out in the world, and then you're giving people it even more.
You go down to a doctor's.
This is going to get even a lot worse.
What gets me, why is it you go down to the doctor because you're in pain,
Yeah.
and you think that person is a doctor, and then when you find out, you phone up a bit later on to talk to someone, they say, oh, that person's not a doctor.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, the National Health Service, guys and girls, is actually employing like youngsters now, the ones who pass, who haven't actually passed their sort of doctor's degrees yet.
Yeah.
But say, because I was reading this about on the news, right, the National Health Service, about some kid who said he was doing his like sort of learning to become a doctor or something, or doing all his exams and stuff, and he said he wasn't actually ready, but yet they said to him, right, you're ready, we're going to put you on there, so we're going to sign you on that you are ready. So in a way, if you accidentally kill someone and you don't know your knowledge and stuff,
It's all right.
that's all right, we'll carry on.
Yeah, just carry on. Let's go on to the next patient.
Yeah, next. Right, so, like, I mean, come on, guys and girls. Is this what we're doing now? Are we actually employing, like, sort of these junior doctors or supposing junior doctors?
All right. Let's get on to the next patient.
Yeah, let's get the next patient in and stuff. Don't worry, he's got heart problems, this one. Oh, what, you're going to take his heart out? What? What? Oh, what? Does he need a new one? Oh, don't worry, just take the heart out, just leave it on the side. Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. But he won't live without his heart. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, hang on, I'm taking his heart out.
I'll give him a pacemaker.
But then as I've taken his heart out, but I can't put it back in because I haven't actually learned how to put the heart back in and then link up all the wires. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry.
There's a doctor in next to you.
Yeah, we'll get the next doctor in there. Oh, he doesn't know it either. What?
Oh, he doesn't know.
Oh, he doesn't know.
I'm sorry about that, but he's come from another country.
Yeah, he's come from another country, which he hasn't been employed in this country with his degrees. And there's this thing like now where we got these other doctors coming from other countries coming into this country, but they haven't been qualified as a doctor in this country.
Worry about it.
Yeah, so they haven't been qualified in this country. And I think they should be qualified because there's a lot of doctors now, say from Australia, who come to the UK.
Oh, don't worry about it. He's been qualified.
Yeah, he's been qualified in Australia, but he hasn't been qualified in the UK.
Oh, don't worry about it.
And then he ends up like, okay, but because their practitioners are actually different in those countries, in Australia, than this country, and they should be like sort of have their bits over here. I mean, they should be learning in this country.
Yeah. And what gets me is that when there's been something wrong with a baby over here, right, they can't do anything about that baby. Because they go to the courts and the court says, oh, that's all right.
And then, and the courts go over the parents and stuff. I say, oh, well, the kids are like...
I want my baby to go to the other country. I say, sorry, mate, your baby's staying here.
Yeah, it's like when parents try to take their kids to other countries to get their surgery done. And then the actual courts say, that's all right, we're going to have more control of your kids than yourself. And then they say, oh, we can't help your kids now.
No, we don't do that in this country.
Yeah, we don't do it in this country. So we're not going to allow you to take the baby or the kid to the other country to help them out. But yeah, it's wrong. Parents should have a say over their kids entirely. But they don't. They don't have a freedom. There's no freedom in this country no more, guys and girls. It's all gone to shit. So all our soldiers who've put their life on the line from World War One, World War Two, right? And they used all their blood, their sweat, their tears. This is what Boris Johnson's literally done now. He's literally trying to imprison everybody. But it's not him. It's not him who's doing it. There's actually a dark side of people on the other side who are actually pulling his strings. But then as they creep up behind him and they all like sort of gather behind him, and then he just gets cornered, so he has no choice to go along with it.
I heard something the other day. It's really funny, actually.
Yeah.
What did David Cameron used to say?
We're all in this together. Well, we're not.
Yeah, that's what he said.
We're not all in this together.
I heard somebody say the other day, one of these MPs, say, that's all right, we're all in this together.
But anyway, guys...
And I thought, my God.
Yeah, well,
we've got the same
not
of David Cameron.
Yeah, but not everybody is in this together. Anyway, guys and girls as well, like, when you guys and girls come back after this quarantine or isolation, as they call it, they're calling it isolation. I call it concentration because it's more of a concentration camp. That's the next thing, is going to put everybody in prison in a concentration camp. You'll be like saying, well, they can't put everybody in prison because they haven't got enough prisons. Trust me, they'll make some like spare camps. They'll get some camps and they'll like put everybody in them and lock them up and all this kind of stuff. That's still yet to come. But the biggest thing here, right, is all your jobs when you come back, right? Once the government says, right, we're going to give you a loan to tie you over, right? That's what it is, a loan. A loan is only something that they're going to lend you, but they want it back, but with interest. They're not going to give you the money to give to you for free. You know why they're not going to give you the money for free? Because it's not in their budget. And actually, money isn't actually real. It's not a currency, see. Then if you want a currency, That's why the government are actually going to kill off the money soon.
And can I tell you something else?
No, they're going to kill off the money, and I'll tell you that. They're going to kill off the money. The reason being, right, is because they say there's viruses, there's germs all over money, actual physical money. So rather than give you physical money in your hand, they say, right, there's too many germs for that. We're going to get you a credit card, or we're going to get you a debit card. We're going to get you into debt. Even worse. Yeah.
Well, I'm 70 next year, and guess what?
Yeah.
I've never, ever seen anything like this in my whole life.
Yeah, this pandemic has gone crazy.
I've never, ever seen people being treated the way you are now.
I know, you're getting treated like, sort of like prisoners.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, people in prison get treated even more better than what we are doing at the moment, guys and girls, and that's a serious fact. That is a fact. We're getting treated like bloody animals at the moment, and if you don't want to obey by the rules, right? Obey, that's the word, obey, because the government wants you to obey their rules. And they want you to stay in. They want you to be to shut up and close your mouth and not say anything. It's because that way they can control all of us. They want to control the population. 3 weeks is nothing. I mean, I could stay in this house for 3 weeks alone and stuff, like with my mum and I. But the next bit after the 3 weeks is to actually 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 months or 6 years. They want you completely isolated indoors so they can get a curfew on you. And if you end up sort of out and about, right, and they see you, right, now it's a new one now, is they're going to fine people now. And now if they fine you, right, you can end up getting like sort of a fine of like £1,000 or something. I mean, which is nothing to these people in the first place. But it builds up their money in the first place.
I've never seen anything like it in my own
and then
life.
what happened is if you disobey them again and all that, they'll probably end up getting the military or something to shoot you or something, or take you out or something. And then it'd be even worse than this virus. There'd be more people dying on the street, right? Homeless are on the freaking street already, guys and girls. We are supposed to be getting them off the street. They're going to get the virus. What's going to happen when we walk up to a homeless person and they've still got that epidemic of a virus which is spreading to everybody, and we go out after this quarantine that we call it at the moment, and we go out and we give the money to a homeless person to say they've got that disease, right, that virus, and it's in their bodies, but they can't get it themselves, so you don't know that, but they can actually spread it to other people, so they're a carrier. Then you're back to square one again, isolated, and this could go on for months and months and months, or even years. I'm predicting this is going to go on for 5 years, guys and girls, at least 5 years. I mean, this is maybe even longer. And also, they're going to try and crash the economy. The biggest subject at the moment is they're going to crash the economy so they can take little small businesses off people. You're going to get in debt, right? You're going to get in debt by these big business people. And once that happens, and they take your businesses off you, your small businesses, and kill some of your businesses off and all of that. I mean, it's already, people are losing their jobs already.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But once that happens...
Coronation Street?
Yeah, well...
But you see on Gary, don't you?
Yeah, but once that happens, right, then how are you going to get money? How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to even live? Let us know in the comments below, guys and girls. Cheers for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next episode.